People say you talk weirdly since you routinely pause in your sentences to select what words you want to say. I think pausing is better than using a filler. Pausing makes people sit there and think, and it gives them time to think about what you said. If you say a lot of ums and uhs in between, they're locked in on what you're saying and not processing what you're saying. They're not given that real gap. And then you sound more unsure as well because you're saying or So sitting there and pausing is a lot better. Personally, I take more pauses when I'm thinking critically about what I'm saying and I'm not just it's better. It's a lot better. Terrible. You said in customer service using ums and uhs makes you sound like you don't know what you're saying. Yeah, one of the best things you can do is give people an expectation. If someone says, "What do you think about this?" You go, "Let me think." You literally said, I don't know. Let me think on that. And then you sit there for a second, and then you start saying a thing. You can literally tell them, "I'm going to think." That way they're not going, "Why are you sitting there?" Or they don't start talking, because sometimes they take that pause to talk. Anyone have that one teacher who hates it when people say like all the time? Yeah, I hate when people say like all the time, but I start doing it when I get more fatigued. If I'm a little more tired or fatigued, I say like and way more often. And then if I'm locked in, I don't say it like at all. Like at all. It's very, I don't know, it's more rare for me depending on how fresh my brain feels. I think people say literally, they say like, I know some people that it's not really a problem. They go, well, to anytime anyone asks them anything, they start with, well. They don't need to. They could leave it out. The one I don't like, you know what I don't like hearing? When people say basically. You can say it sometimes. Some people say it all the time. Basically, you just have to do this thing, and then you basically take this thing and put it here. Why are we saying basically twice? I don't like that. Basically, you gotta widow away. That's one that I hear some people say too often, to the point where they say it when they're explaining something 3 times within 3 sentences. Does that make sense? I hear it a lot. Yeah, the repetition. Yeah, it's usually not a problem when the word is alone, but they say it too many times, and then suddenly it shakes your confidence in what they're saying, right? Because then it becomes, instead of just one word, it becomes filler. So that's a good one to cut. Ooh, your least favorite thing to hear is when someone says irregardless. Yeah, irregardless is not a word. Regardless is a word. You don't need to negate it with the I, and irregardless isn't a word to begin with. Your fillers, okay, so that's not the worst, because that still sounds definitive. You still sound like you know what you're talking about, and you sound like you are just getting your thoughts together. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, it's still better to cut out, but I don't think that one, yeah, I don't think that one's that bad as I think about it. Plays basically with essentially and gain 100 IQ. To put it simply is a good one. To put it plainly, you have a coworker who says "in theory" as a weird placeholder phrase in front of sentences. Yeah, some people have started using ones that don't make sense. He keeps walking in front of me. It don't make sense in the context. I have some friends that do that. I correct them sometimes, but not that much. Would you say please stop saying on accident? I mean, that one is one that bothers me less. I think obviously saying by accident is the way, but that one sort of corrects by technicality, so I don't bother with that one. I don't bother with that one. Yeah, it's by accident. Sorry, I did that by accident. I did that on accident. I think on is not the worst there. It's just a little off. Your trigger is simply put. You know why I hate that? Because people would use it in their, what's the word? Their conclusion paragraphs on essays. You know how many times I read a conclusion paragraph from someone that said, simply put, we didn't need that. It does nothing. It doesn't change anything. Nothing at all. The problem is your current overused phrase. Mm. The problem is that something something. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what do I say too much? I can think of things that I say a lot, but it's hard for me to say that I say them a lot in normal speech. I think it might just be when I'm streaming for some of them. Yeah, I do, you know. That's my datebayo. That's how it is. I say we'll see a lot. What else? I don't know. Right? Yeah, you're right. I'm trying to think if I do these things when not streaming as much. Or if it's the same amount. I don't know. Coco Loco, thank you for the raid. I don't know, because I don't have recordings of myself just talking the same way. Right? I don't know, man. I don't know. The thing is, yeah. That's a good one. Ew, what is this one? You said some people say to caveat off of what blank said. Oh, I don't like that. We need to hustle grind our connections. Me when I don't want to say leverage.